WBNS, 10TV Columbus, Chuck Rogers, Jane Rogers, Mike Davis, and Mike Gleason. This is 10TV Eyewitness News.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Leading our news tonight, flames on the city's Near East Side at 1133 Hildreth.
When the fire department arrived on the scene, the flames were shooting out of the windows and thick black smoke covered the whole street. The fire officials don't know what caused the blaze, but damage was extensive, with most of the second floor totally destroyed by the fire. And neighbors were afraid today that some children might be at home inside the burning part of the home. Do you know if anybody's inside?
No, we haven't been. We've searched, but we haven't been able to find anybody.
And a damage estimate has not yet been released.
A horrible farming accident in West Liberty, Ohio, has left a 60-year-old man there fighting for his life tonight. Don Miller was working with a tractor on his farm when he got tangled in the spinning part on the back of the tractor. He lost both arms at the shoulder. Miller was flown by SkyMed to University Hospital, where he is in critical condition at this hour.
A strike vote will be taken tomorrow by workers at 62 Columbus area Kroger stores, and it could determine whether or not you go Krogering. The vote comes after contract talks stalled late last night between the company and members of the United Food and Commercial Workers Union. A bus driver's strike in Cincinnati is now over. Buses will be rolling there again tomorrow. As you know, they've been in the garage there for the past 12 days because drivers and mechanics wanted more money. But last night they voted overwhelmingly to accept a 13% pay hike over the next 3 years. The walkout had left thousands of riders in the Cincinnati area scrambling for transportation. Jane.
Come Monday, you'll have another option to choose from when it comes to that heaping plate full of local insurance companies. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Ohio, headquartered in Cleveland, is opening an office right here in Columbus. Already the company has netted a very big contract with state employees. Now there will be 500 or so insurance companies to choose from in this city. Some tough charges have been leveled against the oil company responsible for that fuel slick that's been slowly moving down the Monongahela River. A Pennsylvania senator charges Ashland Oil in Pittsburgh is stonewalling. Now, an Ashland executive says he can't answer many of the questions about the spill. It polluted 2 rivers and contaminated water in 6 states.
And in Columbus today, some new ground is broken, sort of. In a city where commercial land is traditionally bought and sold by advertising it, there comes a new twist. Kurt Ludlow has the story for us tonight of buying land by bidding on it.
It may become the way to deal valuable land. Let an auctioneer sell it to the highest bidder. And why not?
These days, land along the Sawmill Corridor goes for a premium price if you can even get it. An example? This 1.5 acres of land off of Snowford Road recently sold for $425,000.
With Mother Earth so expensive here, it was no surprise that the owners of this 1.5 acres, just a block away, decided that an auction could push the value of their land even higher. But when the auction began, all the auctioneer got from bidders was blank stares and closed hands.
175 and 200,000. 175 and 2, folks, you're not paying attention.
These kinds of auctions are normally only used for land from estates or bankruptcies. Many bidders were expecting a low selling price.
I think the price was pretty good. It was lower than, I would say, the appraisal price. And, too bad I didn't have enough money to do it.
Final bid, $79,000.
79.
When the land finally sold, the sellers rejected the price. Too low, they said.
I'm not really disappointed because vacant ground is probably one of the toughest things to sell. You're just looking at dirt. There's no amenities at all, and it's hard to get excited. In an area like this, you're talking a lot of money, and if you don't have a specific use in mind, the ground really isn't worth anything.
The high bidder for the land says auctions like this will catch on here. He says an auction is a good way to sell land.
Because it brings people who are really serious, good buyers, good sellers together, and you have a fast answer, yes or no, if you're going to make the transaction or not.
So in one way, the auction didn't break any ground today, but in another way, it did. Real estate people say there will be more land auctions here, causing the price of commercial land to skyrocket. Kurt Ludlow, Eyewitness News.
Well, it was the spirit of competition skyrocketing today right here in Columbus.
A spirit made special by those doing their very best just to compete. Their story when Eyewitness News continues. Pay big bucks to get a physical examination, but not today if you took part in the St. Valentine's Day Heart Disease Massacre. It's an all-out effort to wipe out heart disease. Exams were free for the asking at the Family Health Center on Livingston today, and everyone got into the spirit by dressing up in a Roaring 20s outfit.
We also have our foot doctor who's giving free foot exams. They're interested in that. They're wanting everything done that we can do. Blood pressure checks, their height and weights. We can give them information on special diets if they need it.
That was not Charlie Chaplin. By the way, the free exams will be going on until 7 o'clock tonight, so if you hurry, you might be able to take advantage of them.
I bet a lot of folks did today.
Yeah, well, we were there. They had about a dozen people there, but again, it's open till 7, so take advantage of it.
Okay, it's well worth it. A massive air show today in Columbus, but it wasn't at Port Columbus or Rickenbacker Air Base or any other airport around here. This air show was indoors at the Northland Mall. It was designed to, if it was designed to fly, it was on display. Airplanes, gliders, rockets, remote-controlled planes, all of it to get you interested in aviation. Folks from a number of Central Ohio aviation associations also there to talk to you about flying. The flying exhibit continues through tomorrow. The Winter Olympics may be in Calgary, Canada, but today Columbus had their own Olympics, and Sue Ellen Vance tells us everyone's a winner at these games.
These are the kids of Special Olympics, and they play with everything they've got. Today was the basketball individual skills test, and there were 4 different events: shooting, dribbling, passing, and rebounding. And everyone gets a ribbon, even if it's just for participating.
What'd you win your ribbon for? For basketball.
And how many baskets did you throw?
9.
It's given him more of a sense of competition because he's competing against kids that, are on his skill level. And he's, really become excited about all of it.
And Special Olympics in Ohio is growing all the time.
We're getting a lot more participation in Special Olympics than we've had before. We're getting programs in the public schools that are just now starting, and they're really beginning to develop.
Any of these kids here can go on to the statewide competition, which is going to be held at Bowling Green State University at the end of March. Now, if you have a child who's interested in participating in the Special Olympics, you can call the Ohio Special Olympics office at 239-7050. Sue Ellen Vance, Eyewitness News.
And there was another competition here in town today.
This one took advantage of the very cold temperatures, the chills, and the thrills of ice carving when we come back.
Still dropping temperatures well below 0 today. You'd think there'd be nobody around enjoying the weather. Well, if your ice carving is your game, below 0 temperatures are just what you need. At the Embassy Suites Hotel today, it was the first annual Elegance in Ice Carving Contest. Carvers from across the Midwest showed up with chainsaws and scrapers in hand, designing their very best sculptures. But why would anybody want to spend 2 hours in freezing weather carving a 300-pound block of ice?
Satisfaction, relaxation, prestige, money. Top prize here is $400. I was in one 3 weeks ago. It's $1,200 grand prize. Haven't won anything yet, though, but keep trying.
And Bruce will have to keep trying because he didn't win today, but he did have a good time. And by the way, most ice carvers, we're told, are chefs by trade, at least the ones in the competition today. Ice carving, we're told, is almost a requirement to be a chef in some positions.
I think if I got a hold of that chainsaw, I'd right through it and knock the top off.
I'd knock a door down to get into where it's warm.
I'd be interested to find out how they incorporate that into the cooking classes and everything. Now get out your chainsaws, folks. It was a nasty day out there, but a good day to talk about ice because we had plenty of it. But we're still getting some questions from people who are calling in wondering if it's safe to go out on the ponds, the rivers, things like that. Really, no. We say no, not yet. And tomorrow...
An explosive network television premiere.